Hello, my dear friends from Brazil, and my very special regards to Santos Football Club fans, an international squad which has become lately some sort of Newcastle in old times, obviously without the Prince of Arabia in plain sight. I'm Paul, I'm virtually created under a human touch discourse, and I'm here just to share some thoughts about this jagged and painful moments Vila Belmiro's team's been facing. The pitch, football administration and management. These will be the issues we'll be discussing when our so loved Santos Football Club is away from the match day. My co-host in this journey is Mr. Brian Maxwell. Hello, Brian.
Hi everyone, it's always a pleasure to be with you, Paul, and all Santos Football Club fans. The club internationally famous for bringing the most majestic players to the world of football. I feel very grateful to join this podcast about Santos. Although the team's moment is now more, it's more than just, appalling. This plummeting into the relegation zone basically makes us all remind of the 6th of December in 2023.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that deja vu is haunting Santos supporters everywhere in Brazil. A sort of Rueda 2.0, something really devastating for the vast majority of fans. And this situation also reminds us all of the importance of having good managerial practices that seem to be, like in many other football clubs in the American continents, except in Major Soccer League in the United States, really, really far indeed from Santos Football Club side. It's amazing how things can repeatedly happen in an endless looping.
Yeah, it's really amazing how things can, as you said, repeatedly happen in Vila Belmiro. What I do believe under these circumstances is that we all, as a Santos community, fail to form new chairmen, new administrators for the football business as we form the best players ever. We're not supposed to bring a new Neymar up only, but provide better administrators to match these best practices. Modern football clubs worldwide are demanding in terms of the best managerial approaches on the way to win the championships.
So we can start from the very beginning talking about this pedromartins Santos Executive Office, which seems to be only in this position due to the club's political arrangements. We need always to remember everyone his father is former Araraquara mayor and a big personality in the Workers' Party, the current party in Brazil's federal government.
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, his father's name is Edeno Silva, right?
Yeah. He's one of the Workers' Party big boss in Brazil's capital, in this case. Santos Football Club has all the interests since the club's training station is still not a club's asset, but a federal government property. Go figure. Santos, at any moment, can lose the training ground.
It's appalling, devastating. How can a club like Santos be in this position? Maybe losing the training station forever and never interested in acquiring the asset, definitely.
Well, Brazilian way of doing things, got no words to describe such pantomime, but my question is, he was supposed to be dismissed Friday the 9th, regarding there's a huge pressure for that. At the last moment, Chairman marceloteixeira kept this pedromartins position in the club under the massive discontent from members of the council, supporters and bulldozer manifestation of many Santos vloggers and podcasters.
Poor journalism, parallel press again.
Yeah, when things go wrong, they go wrong all the way. In your opinion, Brian, any chance of better days coming near with this sort of CEO? With that appalling press conference some weeks ago, spilling the beans in that horrible, awkward way.
Well, I tend to answer this question with a big and huge no chance for a club which was technically relegated last Sunday, losing the match to Grêmio 1-0, relegated to Série B after Brazil's League 7th round. It was just the 7th round, but relegated with 4 points out of 21, 4 points of 21 available. Going back to Serie B like last year, going back to Serie B as it happened in 2024, a 19% performance. Nothing else can be expected, but relegation when the chairman's son is able to run over any any elected member of the current board. That's why I tell everyone, if Santos wants to be big again, the first thing to be done is to bury this sort of mentality. So
yeah. I reckon you're completely right, but this is my point. Andres Rueda was the milestone of the club's relegation. After 3 appalling years of his term, much has been charged upon the club's members when choosing Marceloteixeira, was there any easy way out?
Next answer, all right, so this is my point as well. And my answer again is a huge no, because the club's history is upon trading the best players for the dosh to flood in the cash flow. This was the story year after year after year after year. We could only make the ends meet if we trade players, or if indeed this show by itself what sort of mentalities run Santos Football Club along history. The members thought, any chance of having something different this time? And the answer was again an enormous no, because the club's been always interested in promoting the young talents from the club's academy for making money. That's all. The club never grew any other sort of mentality, but eager for money anyway. Santos never realized things be different from now on than a sequence of relegations if they found for administration the same thirst found for bringing to life those historical, wonderful young lads who fascinated and enchanted the old world, making Santos famous until today. The same which went to ball and pitch never brought up its managerial counterpart.
And you find any chance of moving on up when the chairman's son, who has no position in the club or the organogram, as you said, is more influential than any other club member?
Well, I'll tell you again, my answer is no. Oh my God, so many no's in this conversation. For heaven's sake, well, now watching Ademir Quintino at AQTV and in so many videos over the YouTube, I see him complaining about the chairman's lack of professionalism. Indeed, because this is the point. Because this is the point no one in the entire Santos Football Club community has the balls to debate. The club's organogram must be professional. All right. The point to debate is that you cannot only demand this professionalism from the club inside. If you want to turn Santos football into something professional, it's not only the club that must be professional. Anyone in the entire community must be professional. Anyone. All right. The football must be updated. The club must be updated. But yeah, the press must be updated. The players must be updated. The supporters must be updated. The ultras must be updated. The admissions must be updated. This entire Santos YouTube community must be updated. Do you know what I mean? Suppose instead of Bragantino, Red Bull would sought Santos Football Club. Do you know what I mean? An Austrian company behind Santos, reforming any single part of the process. Would Ademir Quintino able to produce in his TV channel the same Red Bull premium quality, or he'd be keeping the same way of manufacturing journalism? Do you know what I mean? The changes in the club cannot only one way. I'd say the entire community's mentality must be as professional as Red Bull is, Pepsi Company is, British Petroleum is, Pfizer is.
I am so self-sure this is going to happen, or at least updated in the way you're talking about. I know what you mean, but are you so self-sure with Marceloteixeira Jr. pocking his nose into any club's business the way he does? Do you think this professionalism mentioned by Ademir Quintino is really going to happen?
That's why the vast majority of fans are eager for the SAF, Brazilian acronym for transforming the club into a company. But look at that. Becoming a company don't keep you safe from crooks, right? No relation between becoming a football company and the CEO having a heavenly reputation. One doesn't mean the other. They're no even synonyms. But being professional on one hand means all the other side of the table need to follow. I can hear lots of complaints, but no attitudes according to this so-called professionalism. Santos Football Club is not professional, right? But the club is amongst a culture it doesn't at all. I think Santos Football Club must be a company, as well as I'm keen on seeing the club's journalism professional, the club's fans professional, Santos YouTube community professional, at least with a much more mature gesture.
Well, when you see the recent bank loan scams done by the own bank agency personnel on clients, or also the recent governmental discount scams on their own INSS pensioners without any permission, it always seems we've been in a culture where professionalism will be never welcome.
There's plenty of fans who demand this professionalism from the managers, but unable to create a healthier culture. We could say Mr. Quintino is right by demanding this professional approach, but maybe being the one by the use of typewriters. Do you know what I mean? If you demand from the club the use of PC, it's supposed you've been using a PC as well.
Yeah, well, so maybe we could talk for hours and hours and hours in a row, but this episode is coming to an end. Thanks, Brian. This Brian Maxwell, our co-host in this episode, Debate. See you in the next program, Brian.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure. It's always a big passion talking about Santos Football Club between the match days, and it's always my pleasure to be in touch with this Santos Football Club fan nation. Just let you know, hope YouTube can suggest the next episode when we'll be talking about Santos Football Club, one of the most powerful in the world. We do understand our São Paulo state capital city fans, but moving Santos Football Club from Vila Belmiro to somewhere else seems always a very bad idea. Next episode, we will be talking about brand identity and how dangerous this possible move from Vila Belmiro can ruin Santos Football Club brand. But this is the theme for the next episode. Thanks, everyone. See you in the next program.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks, everyone who listened to this podcast until now. This is Fishshop, your podcast to talk about Santos Football Club beyond the match days. As Brian reminded us, in the next podcast, we'll be talking about Santos Football Club brand and the danger of keeping Santos Football Club very, very far away from Vila Belmiro. This is Epilogue. Again, this is Fishshop, your clever debate about Santos Football Club. Thanks, everyone. See you in the next program. God bless.